So this is your first time in a long-distance relationship and you probably have no idea what to do. You keep on looking for advices online, but there's just none that actually breaks down every single thing that you need to do as a beginner. Relax, it's okay. We'll try to keep things simple. Let's go. Hi, my name is Kristen, and on this channel we talk about long distance relationships, and on this video we are going to break down the 5 key principles on how to make long distance relationships work for first timers. Alright, let's dive in. The first one and the first principle is mental warm-up. I really need you to take this principle seriously because this is key and foundation to your sanity. Okay, so how do you do a mental warm-up? A good example would be taking about a couple of days or even a few weeks, if you have the luxury of time, prior to your departure or your flight, to imagine and to feel what it's like being in a long-distance relationship. So you're asking, how am I going to do that? I've actually never been in an LDR relationship or an LDR setting. So one thing that you can do is to imagine what it feels like being alone. Like, remember the moments and times where you actually enjoyed being by yourself. You want to think about those feelings and put yourself there and try to create a future where you will see yourself being that way for long periods of time. Another example you can do is imagine talking to your phone screen like every single day and imagine yourself having video calls or Skype calls or FaceTime with your loved one or your special other, and think of yourself being there, holding your phone, having your earphones in, talking to an inanimate object. Prepare your mind and your body for that future event. And you ask, why is it important to do that? It's important because you are training your body and your mind and your heart to be ready for when your person is gone or for when you're away. And this principle, that's why I put it as the first one, is very crucial in helping ease the shock and the trauma of separation. For a first timer, your efforts in preparing mentally will be your saving grace, I assure you. So do it. And again, it's called a warm-up because just like in any exercise, if you don't warm up, you can get injured. So you don't want to do that. Alright, the second principle is the LDR starter pack. Yep, an LDR starter pack. You don't just need ideas, of course, you also need actual physical objects to bring with you so that you can make this LDR work. So I'll give you a quick little short checklist that you can go through. Make sure you have every single one in your bag before you leave, or if you're already gone, make sure you buy them. So the very first one in this checklist is Wi-Fi. I know Wi-Fi is everywhere, but you just gotta really make sure that you have online internet connection, because without it, how are you gonna talk to that person? It's hard, unless you like letters. You can do that too. So yes, internet is number 1. Make sure it's there. You cannot not have it. But if you don't have it, number 2 are mobile phones. So if you have a phone that you can text with, then Wi-Fi is definitely okay. If you don't have it, the problem is if you live or are gonna live in a different country, texting is a little bit harder to do. So make sure you have the internet or a phone. Phone, check. And of course, number 3, if you already have the Wi-Fi and you already have the phone, you must have any social media account or any type of application that you and your partner can use so that you can communicate. Example would be Skype, FaceTime, Yahoo Messenger if you still use that, Facebook Messengers, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, I don't know. And you can basically send messages anywhere. Find a good application that you and your SO or significant other would like to use and download it on your phone. Make sure they sync, and then you guys can start talking. Number 4 on the list are earphones. Yes. Why? Because sometimes you will find yourself in situations where it's really noisy and you can't hear the person. You're going, I can't hear you. You know what I mean? If you're calling your SO and you're just spending like most of your time asking them what or saying, I can't hear you, then you're gonna waste your time. So make sure that you have your earphones with you wherever you go, so when you get that call or when you do call, you have something to put in your ear so that you can hear them and you can also talk back to them. Now with that in mind, your earphones should have a microphone, or if you have headphones, make sure it has like a mouthpiece or something that you can use to talk. The next one on this checklist is a mobile stand or a tripod. I actually recommend tentacle. I'm not sure if you've seen that before, but it looks like a tentacle. They look like octopus arms. And it's basically like an all-in-one tripod, selfie stick, stand, or if you're even like a blogger or you like to go on YouTube and you like to make videos, it's really good because it has suctions on the legs and you can stick it basically anywhere that you want to stick it, even in your car or up on a tree, wherever that may be, and it's really good for holding your products. So if you like to look at that, I'll leave a link below. It's pretty cool. So yes, tripods and stands are necessary for when you're talking to honey, because if you're busy or doing something, you're cooking or whatever, you don't want to be holding up your phone all the time unless you're on a laptop, of course. So make sure you have that. This very last one on the list is a charger. So you don't want to have a dead phone mid-conversation and be like,
did he leave me or did he just hang up on me?
you know what I mean? So have a charger in an area where you can go to, or when your battery gets low, because I'm probably guessing you guys will have to talk hours or even till tomorrow if you guys miss each other that much. So make sure that you have a charger. Okay, the third principle is proper motive. What does that mean? What is that? Have you ever heard of the phrase quality over quantity? I mean, yeah, sure, that's good. It's always good. Even I say that, like, quality of conversations are better than how much you talk within the day. But to be honest, quality doesn't count if your motives are garbage. And you're asking, why is that? Remember, good intention is not equivalent to proper motive. Why? Because good intention roots from who you are, but proper motive comes from why you're doing what you do. You see where I'm going here? You can probably have the most meaningful conversation with your person, yet still crumble at the end. And you're like,
wow, we had the best talks and we were so deep and we were like one-on-one, heart to heart.
well, it's probably because your motives or their motives were misplaced. What do I mean by misplaced? Okay, so remember when you wanted to start that meaningful conversation with your person? If you dig deeper, you probably subconsciously wanted to have that meaningful conversation in order for you to feel assured with your relationship, because they are far away. And if you look closely, starting that conversation to make you feel secure, it's kind of a little bit selfish. Now you gotta think back really hard for this one. Did you want that conversation so that you can give the person what they need? Or did you have that conversation because you wanted to feel secure and assured
that I could trust them or that I actually know them better?
So again, even if you had a good intention in wanting to start a meaningful or deep conversation, you gotta have to make sure that your motive is for them to benefit from it. Because as a beginner or for a first timer, you probably should know that LDR operates on a love that is giving. It's not the same as normal relationships because you can't demand for attention, time, touch, or anything that normal people usually do. So if you're going into it thinking about
how am I gonna feel,
how I, then you too might have to think if this is something that you guys are willing to work on. So with every message that you will send and every text or gift or anything that you will do connecting you to that person, just make sure that you have that proper motive. Are you doing it for them or are you doing it for yourself? So yes, nail this down as a beginner now so that later on, once you guys get the ball rolling and you're in this LDR for the next years, you will have a little bit more ease in managing it. Okay, principle number 4 is master your words. Are you bad with words? Because I really need you to start befriending them right now. Your words are gonna be like your best friends and your phrases are gonna be like lifesavers. Because what you say and how you say it will not be the same at all compared to saying it and how you're gonna say it in person. Because in the world of long distance relationships, there are sensitive words that don't say what you actually mean. Like picture this. Have you ever been texting or on the phone and you say something and then suddenly they get tipped off and they get mad and angry and you're like, what did I say? What did I do? I didn't do anything wrong. It's exactly that we need to address. You need to master your words because communication, listen to me, Communication is the only thing you guys have. So a pro tip in terms of arguing and fighting in the future when you do get to that point is to avoid saying
you did this and you blah blah and
you all the time. Try rephrasing your words into something like I felt upset because of this, or texting something like I feel sad about what happened last time, and those kinds of things. Okay, so no need to get fancy with words as long as you say them properly and correctly in the way that your partner would understand, then you should be okay. So to summarize this principle, communication is not the key.
Communication is not the key.
It's the whole entire room. So principle number 5 is to set the goal. The THE goal. This principle can be applied across the board, down from the beginners to the intermediates, the advanced, or even the masters of long distance relationships. Because setting the goal is probably, I'm not going to say it's just a principle, I'm not going to say it's just a rule. I think it's required, okay? Required. So in order to make things work, the goal and probably the most effective is to schedule a meetup. The meetup could be even next weekend or next month or in a couple of years. It does not matter as long as you meet. If you find that when you talk about the future and your partner starts talking about big things like, oh, I don't know, or let's just go with the flow, or let's just see where things go, then that's gonna be really difficult for the both of you. And I say this with the highest form of love for you. No plans equals no future. So if you're truly serious in making this work, I say listen to this advice. You have to have a mature conversation with your partner about your future goals together as a couple. And it will give you an idea on whether or not this is something that you guys should pursue or continue doing. But if you are both willing to take on the challenges and survive the distance, then it's definitely going to be worth it. So if you have made it this far, I hope that you learned all the 5 key principles that you need as a beginner and as a starter. Congratulations. Welcome to the long distance relationship journey. It's very colorful. For more long distance relationship topics, you can also visit KristenCares.com, and I break down everything there detail by detail and give you links and places that you can go to and tools that you can use for your LDR. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell so that you will be notified when there are new updates regarding this topic. Let me know what other questions you have in mind or concerns, and we'll try to tackle it together. And I'll see you in the next one.